Get ready with me while I share with you guys how I paid off $12,000 of credit card debt. When I was 22, I had a job as a store manager at Buckle. I decided that I wanted to open up my first credit card. That one credit card ended up spiraling into like me opening up every credit card imaginable. And because I was so young and I wanted so many things, I literally maxed them all out within like a year. I was able to make all of my minimum payments on the credit cards, but at 22, that's when the cycle started of maxing out the card, paying the minimum balance, and I quickly got stuck into that minimum payment cycle. Fast forward 3 years, I'm in $9,000 worth of credit card debt. I'm working at a new job. At this time, I'm working at CarMax, and I decided to go back to school to get my bachelor's degree. I was working full-time. I was going to school full-time. At the time, I had so much shame for the debt that I had. I literally associated my self-worth with debt. Like in my mind, I was always thinking, oh, I have $9,000 worth of credit card debt. I am literally a POS. A lot of that attributed to the person that I was dating at the time, who was very financially secure. I actually hid having credit card debt from him for a while because I was so ashamed about it. But looking back, I wish I could just give myself a huge hug and be like, girl, it's not like you're a bad person. You just literally have to learn how to get out of it. So if you are currently having shame because of your credit card debt, don't. So the day before I turned 26, I actually broke up with the guy that I was referring to. I had to move back in with my parents, and simultaneously I quit my job at CarMax because it was like over an hour away from my parents' house. So I quit that job, moved home, and I got a job as a waitress, and I was so scared that I wasn't going to be able to make the minimum payments on my credit cards. Around the time that I start dating my current boyfriend, who at the time was a banker at Wells Fargo. I was so comfortable with him that I easily like shared my financial situation with him. Like it just felt so good to have zero shame with my new boyfriend about money. A lot of drama happened with me and my parents, and I actually got invited to no longer live with them. So Luis told me that I can move in with him. He was living at his mom and dad's house at the time. He told me I didn't have to pay rent. I ended up landing a job at Poshmark headquarters, which was like my first big girl job. And Luis came up with the idea. He was like, let's write down all of your credit card debt in a list from biggest to smallest. He was like, you're gonna get paid. You're gonna pay your car payment. You're gonna pay all your minimum balances, and then you're gonna pay the smallest credit card first. You're not going to spend money on nails. You're not going to spend money on literally anything. Like the goal was to just go to work, survive, and pay off my credit cards. He literally like put it on a calendar, and I saw that if I were to just make these payments for 6 months straight, I would be completely out of debt. The only kicker was that I literally couldn't spend money. Like we couldn't go out, we couldn't do fun things, you know what I mean? Like I had to be really strict if I was serious about paying off this debt. But because I had this plan literally down on paper and I saw the exact date that I would be debt free, that is really what motivated me to get out of debt. And the fact that my boyfriend was just like super encouraging. This remained very strict. It was super helpful that I didn't have to pay rent, and it was helpful that I lived with him. So literally we just like hung out together. That was like our entertainment. And within 6 months of me getting that big girl job, I was credit card debt free. It was the most freeing thing ever. I have so many other moments that I could tell you about where I was $0, negative dollars in my bank account. So if you want to hear those stories, I am more than happy to share, because again, I do not let the shame of being broke define me. I have grown so much, and so can you. If you don't know how to budget, you can learn. If you don't know how to save money, you can learn. You can do it.